Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the CEA Summer League 2020. This is week 5 of our competition. We have Mile High Esports versus Bronco Esports here today. They'll be playing their first map on Clubhouse. We'll be loading in just a second. The lobby is full. As always, I am Enrage, joined by...
Hi, I'm Zerfon.
And as we said, the match is just starting up here. We got the good locks coming out from both sides. Banfei starting off pretty strong here. Nothing on the board yet, but wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Maverick or a Thatcher. What about you?
Yeah, Maverick and Thatcher, just the default bans for this map, basically. And you generally don't want to ban both, just because that makes it like basically impossible to get sites at this point. And as we're saying that, there goes the first Thatcher. If Maverick does get banned, this is just going to be a complete wipe on the attack for Mile High, just because without the Maverick, it's basically impossible to open the hatches when the enemy team still has Cade. As when both Thatcher and Maverick are banned, you're going to have to ban Cade if you want to get anything done, especially on the bottom floor.
Yeah, and it makes Cash very difficult to start pushing as well, just because you have to play for those vertical takes for busting out any sort of denial from below.
And we're going to get into a second ban here, and it's the
Yeah.
Maverick. Oh
Yeah.
no, this is going to be a fun game. So, I mean, if Mile High, I mean, it's going to be a lot harder to attack now, regardless. But if they want to get rid of that Cade, because at least with Bandit, you're able to do, like, at least on the top floor, you can impact from below, right?
Right.
That's not going to be so much the case for basement, as you will have to go around and just ignore most of the walls, especially in the main hall wall at the bottom floor. But now we're going to begin to our first defense ban, and it is Bandit, so that's one of the obstacles gone. And if Cade goes, it's just going to be a really fun hard breach match.
Yeah. If they have no hard breach denial besides mute, this is going to put them in a very interesting spot, to say the least. Then again,
Yes.
I don't know. That'll basically put it down to either just throwing a nade through a drone hole or whatnot. So, we'll see.
Yep, and it's Maestro. Alright, so the Cade's going to be on the board. It's going to be pretty hard to get hatches now. Most likely not going to get most of the hatches, I guess, at this point. You can get 2 of the hatches, though, so I mean, that works. They're probably going to be running a lot of mute with it, just as a different form of hard breach denial, but that kind of means you can't trick against Thermite anymore, so we will see a lot of walls being opened or uncontested at this point.
Yeah, and that's going to make just that little bit of an easier time for Mile High. So, hopefully that Thermite, potentially Hibana, if they want to bring a dual breach, will work out a little bit better for him this time around.
Yeah, and speaking of, it looks like they are going to bring the Cade and Mutiny. I mean, you're obviously going to want those guys, and the IQ is coming in also, and a Monty. The IQ is going to help find the Cade charges and the Mute Jammers. And also the Pulse. The Pulse is probably going to be roaming somewhere bottom floor, but he's going to be sixed out, and so is the Monty to a Clash. Probably to counter the Monty, but the Monty's being sixed out too, so that's sort of gone. And they're going to bring the Heart Breach. Okay, I was worried there for a second that they weren't going to be able to open the walls.
Yeah, I'm interested if that pulse was to fake like a basement push type, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it could be, but at the same time, I feel like Clash really does just help against Monty.
Yeah, overall, it's just nice to shut him down, slow him down, keep him out of the way.
Yeah, so the reinforcements are going to be going down. They're going to be closing off construction. It just makes it harder to get in, I guess, because construction is just easy to get in if as long as that wall is open. But with it closed, they're going to have to go through Logi or Master Bedroom.
Yeah, it also cuts off those longer sightlines from either outside or inside of a gym all the way down to the site. Looks like a shield can be placed in front of the server window instead of one of the other common spots, which is in front of the door into cache. So it looks like someone will be playing on that rotate or close to it, at least until the breach is opened up.
One thing it also helps with is on the right side of the main wall, you can go prone as the Maverick would open it, but since they have a Maverick, it doesn't really help. So it makes it hard to see that spot, but it looks like they're just going to go with a default strat pretty much, but with their own little twists on it. As Cade is going to use one on the construction wall, which is interesting. As once again, you're going to have to get rid of these Cade and Mute charges in a different way than usual, as you don't have Thatcher or Maverick. It's going to take some vertical pressure from below in order to get rid of them.
Yeah, for sure. And that'll be, yeah, it'll probably be Zofia, honestly, for playing from below if they want to do that. Just using the impacts from the lifeline if they want to do that the easy way. Other than that, they're going to have to send IQ in there and just sort of face check that.
Yeah, Aki's already scanning out the gadgets to find out where everything is. She's going to try getting the ADS. I don't think she can get the angle on that, actually. I could be mistaken. But, yeah, other than that, there's just going to be a lot of droning for the first phase, as usual. Looks like I think most of them are on site. I could be wrong if one is roaming, but I don't see any. Or no, there are no roaming. They're all on site, and just Stoch is on rafters.
That's, I mean, yeah, I mean, that saves a lot of time for Mile High here, just not having to worry about that. I mean, they've got the Nomad air jabs as well to cover main stairs, rotate, so they're basically just worried about sight and maybe the metal stairs at this point.
Really quick, we're looking at Experimental. He's doing the Clash trick that we saw Giants do, I think, a few days ago, where he just puts back to that little drone hole, but he doesn't know that there's no one out there, so it doesn't really matter. Along with that, you don't have anything to stop a trick for. So I mean, it's cool to see that Pro League is influencing how players play, and with that, Pizza Cake's going to take out Lord Macklin. That is their Nomad gone, and hopefully she set down most of her air jabs by now, as otherwise a flank could be pretty easy at this point.
Yeah, we saw one go down for sure, not sure about others. They do have the flashbang hole above ready to go if they want to start going for the construction breach. They got one of the batteries off of the wall. Looks like that was the only one that was put on there. But the Rats actually going to take this opportunity to hop back outside the building.
Yeah, I guess he wants to open up the main wall first, as that way you can put more pressure onto the CCTV rotate, and it's going to make it a lot harder for people to go around.
Yeah. Rotating back up, Thermite is just going to fall back off that again. The Mute Jammer now going down, so they do have the option to open that back up, but it looks like it's already going to be a different strategy on the way. That window being open does expose the Clash of Experimental, but nothing really dangerous yet, as Clash has that full body shield. Stoch gets a nice pick there in the meantime onto Wolves, and a Nitro cell from Pizza Cake takes out one. Pizza Cake's SMG-11 takes out the other. Nice use of Mute's utility there. Withstand not going to help out. Experimental just jumping out there with the SP-SMG and claiming that round for Bronco.
Yeah, unfortunately, while they didn't have any lower roam presence, it looks like they were just able to hunker down on site and just kill a bit of time. And once everyone started trying to push at the same time, it was just easy pickings from there. As we saw, the Nitro Cell hit the floor as the Capital was too distracted throwing out his Firebolt, which got him killed.
Yeah, they just needed a little bit more time to work on that push, possibly win the earlier trade in the round where they lost the Nomad. But other than that, they're Doing pretty all right.
Yeah, unfortunately they weren't set up for any refrags either, which is something that I believe they probably know that they did wrong and they could definitely do better on it.
Yeah. Looks like Ayana being picked to sort of help out that drone presence, possibly give some more intel. Obviously, being able to use an ACOG to get some extra sight lines could be nice. Bringing the sledge as well gives you nades and some soft destruction instead of the buck who just has the soft destruction now, unfortunately.
Yeah, especially because they know they're going to be bottom floor next. They don't need any vertical going up top destruction. They only need to look down. So the sledgehammer is going to be a lot more useful for that. And they can definitely bait with Diana using a fake entry for their real entry, as they can refrag what is essentially just nothing.
Yeah, and trading that out, assuming that you get a pick off of that, is a huge advantage for you because you basically trade 0 health for 15-second cooldown. So
Oh, was it 15? That's really low, actually.
yeah, if it doesn't get shot, it's something like 5 or something like that. It's a decently low cooldown. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head though.
10 seconds remaining.
It looks like the
Next,
hatches are. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I'm interested to see if they put a rotated to blue here. Like you said, the hatch is getting reinforced.
Yeah, it looks like they're not being shocked yet. I think they are probably about to make the rotate. They have the one reinforced wall left. But I could just eat my words right now, as blue is pretty. You need to essentially hold it because like it's one of the easier areas to take if there's no one holding. You can just come all the way in, and then you're basically have a soft wall to sight, and then you can look straight through the other side. But it looks like they are going to open up some kill holes that are looking from Arsenal, but not from Church.
It's like waiting for drone work to go in here. That could be dangerous to open that up with the one on drone, but they're just gonna face check it, no worries. So Twiz is getting in there with the drone from the help of Sophia. So they will not find anyone up on the top floor. 3 already inside, so wasting no time getting up and into the building. Drone does get shot though from wolves, which will alert them to the presence in, I believe that's bar. So going to be starting to work in there, possibly using the Gemini replicator to try to find out whoever's actually there. It will be Stosh on Jaeger.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stoach seems to have cornered himself. If he can't get out, he's essentially dead. Or they can even ignore him there if they want, as once you get into Strip Club, there's no real way out. He can basically just hunker down, try to take as many people with him as he wants, but if you just put an air jab or a claymore in a good enough area where that he can't rotate, he's essentially stuck in there and he can't do anything to help his team at this point.
Yeah. And at this point, they know for sure that he's stuck inside a strip. I don't know why they're pushing this. They clearly, like you said, just block it off, just leave it for gone. Stosh gonna get basically a free kill there on the Nemesis, no one there for the backup. So that's gonna be the Sophia off the board. Almost none of those lifeline charges used. Gets a second. Wow, they are funneling for this. But it's working for Stosh, and that's exactly what he wants in this situation. Gemini Replicator
Yeah,
are going to not see him, it looks like.
yeah, they sent the Gemini in way too late there. It should have been used at the very beginning to make sure the Sophia is refragged properly. Or sorry, the Sophia doesn't die to begin with, but and he sent it in as a drone this time, which is honestly not the proper way to use it. And it's led to 2 deaths, as they could have just held an angle to make sure that he can't rotate out. But instead they had 2 people peek looking a slight bit up, which isn't exactly a favorable position to be looking at. And that's essentially got them killed. But Lord Macklin's going to get into a slight duel with Ajax, who's going to come, I think, down around, that looks like 90 HP. But at the end of the day, it's still 2 people up. And Macklin's on 75, which is just about 3 shots from TCSG. And Stoches is still there with no one contesting him at the moment. Wolf's going to get shot down quite hard, and it's just 17 seconds left. HX Fairmonts is just going to push in, and he's going to save his teammate while Macklin finally gets Ajax. Both are just stuck in Moto right now. They have a mute with, I think it's a smoke, sorry, with the shotgun, and he's going to try planting through the smoke, which isn't touching him. But he's going to get shotgunned, and that's the end of the round right there.
Operators, you are out of time.
Yeah, I feel like that round was basically just the misplay in Strip Club, honestly. If they'd devoted some of those operators into pushing towards basement a little bit sooner, they could have probably cleared out the Cade and Moto and gotten a foothold from there.
Yeah, the thing about the Jaeger roaming there was that he doesn't even have impacts. He can't get out of there, seeing as there's no soft destruction that is actually open. Like, once again, you just need a single claymore so they can hear him shooting it, or even just a person watching the angle if the rest just commit to taking sight. And after that, Stoges would just have to push on his own, and he would just essentially get taken out real quick, as you know, if you're holding an angle, you're generally going to win that fight. But unfortunately, they timed out trying to get Stoches out of strip, which wasn't necessary, and that led to their loss.
Yeah. Bringing out the Ashe this time instead of an IQ is an interesting pick. It seems like they're just going to go for a very frag-heavy comp, I guess. They've got some pretty solid
Attackers need
rifles
to
on their
locate
team. The
and defuse
R4C,
bombs.
the Zophia's AK, the C7E Jackal. They definitely have the firepower.
Along with that, the Ash Charge, her gadget just helps open up the castle walls, as they know they're going to be in bedroom now, and the general hold for that is just putting up 2 castle walls, a ton of ADSs inside gym, and just letting the bandit do his thing. But once again, they don't have a bandit, so it's going to have to be a Cade trick this time.
Important to see the Clash brought back as well from Bronco. We saw how effective that was the last time. It just sort of blocking off angles and just sitting in doorways to put pressure on the enemies. Not sure how effective it's going to be on this site. If they play it well, it could obviously be a massive boost for their team pressure over the map.
Yeah, Clash does one large open areas with only as minimal entrances as possible, but especially in the bedroom site where there's windows and then there's a soft wall next to you and then logistics behind you. But yeah, this is also actually smart. They're just going to be using her in this area so that they can't throw nades in to get the mute charges, if that's what they're going to be doing. So yeah, the Clash does have her own purpose, although it's probably just not what we're thinking right now.
Right. I mean, it seems at this point that it's basically the role of a deployable shield, which is not glamorous, but a necessary job.
Yeah, and Clash has the benefit of not dying with a single Ash charge, especially because her shield can block a lot of explosives.
Yeah, I believe it's something like 80%. But yeah, it's a huge amount of damage that you can reduce with that shield. Looks like Jackal Track gonna come out, finding Pizza Cake. So they do know that at least one player is down in basement. Those foot tracks are relatively fresh, so we'll get a few tracks on him. They are spotting as well Theon at the top of, or middle of main stairs. They're going to go back up to site, which will be a nice little roam clear for the Jackal of Wolves.
Yeah, smart play from Clash there to actually walk down the stairs so that she can actually stop them if they try pushing, or even be as a bullet shield. And with that, Wolves have actually lost 2 of his tracking charges. Now with only 1 left, he has to think of what he wants to use it on. But yeah, unfortunately, even once they use the Jackal charges, they just didn't act on them. And now everyone's on site and they don't exactly know that.
Yeah. They are pretty close as a whole. Mile High is pretty close to executing here. It looks like they've got most of the setup ready. They're just going to have a very hard time getting that mute jammer off with Zofia there, plus having the ADS covering that as well. Means that those impacts aren't going to quite work. They are able to see it, luckily, though, so that will work out, and they will be able to get Jacuzzi Wall open. Just over a minute left, or just under a minute left. Twiz with a double kill inside of Logi finds Clash. That's a lot of pressure down. The castle looking the wrong way gets taken out. It's now a 2v5 situation, basically all because of Twiz dropping into Logi.
Yeah, they just didn't really expect it, I guess. Ajax is stuck inside bathroom as one stuck inside construction. Wolves is going to take out Pizza Cake. Now it's just Ajax in a 1v5. He has a chance. The TCG is not still weak, but unfortunately he's not going to get the chance. Wolves is going to spot out his hand, probably as he looked around, and just take him out.
Yep, the lean the wrong way, just giving away the shoulder there.
It's unfortunate, but now Mile High gets their first round, and they could learn from this. They see that the aggression does tend to work, especially when you drop it from areas that you don't know where they're coming from. And now that they've lost CCTV once, they're going to know the setup, and they can try fixing it, especially with knowing that no one else is roaming on the bottom floor, just giving IQ free reign to get rid of any gadget she wants.
Yeah. Looks like they're not going to change up their team comps that much, just bringing a Wamai on Ajax. Other than that, not too much being really different. I'm not quite sure about the Wamai being brought here. It's obviously useful. Obviously you have Jaeger already though, so you have a decent amount of denial. Loadout's not bad, but
I think what might just mainly occupy is a different sort of Jaeger. Like, the way that he's generally used is to put his little discs up in corners that you don't expect. Because, I mean, for Jaeger charges, you can only put them in so many areas that come up to, like, a certain, like, up to Jaeger's chest level, I believe.
mm-hmm.
with Wamai, not only do you get like basically extra ADSs, but they also act in a way where you can just throw them on the roof, and like a good example is in construction. We can just throw on the roof, and when we throw a nade, it's just gonna go right back at them, and they just won't expect it. Whereas for Diego's ADSs, while it also has more uses, you have to put in more predictable areas.
Right.
It looks like we're going to see actually the same setup as last time. So yeah, Mile High definitely knows what they're going to be going up against, and with this they should be able to counter quite well, as long as they don't make a bunch of mistakes.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
So those my chargers are going to be placed on the major windows, at least for now, just to sort of hold off on anything that might get thrown inside. Whether that's to take off the mute jammers or whatnot. Valkyrie cams, I'm not sure where those got placed, but I'm assuming they'll be guarding sort of the flanks so that they do not have to devote as many people to watching them. Looks like Experimental is going to be playing inside of Strip Club, looking for anyone that might be going for maybe Garage? Potentially peeking out of this door in Strip here. We'll see. Could actually find the kill on this Thermite if they catch him right now.
Yeah, he's definitely able to do a run out here, and actually maybe be able to get a second, as Macklin's not even looking his way. And if Valk decides to run out, she's definitely going to get a kill. She's mailing the bottom of it, possibly to sneak out, but it looks like she's a bit too afraid to do it so far.
Just busting out just the bare minimum of that door to try to get some foothold sightlines here, it looks like.
Yeah, and even with the actual thermite charge going off, which gives confirmation as to where he is, oh, she's finally going to run out, but unfortunately it's too late, she's not going to see him. She's going to throw a Valcam out. She just saw the tip of his head, but unfortunately didn't register it, as Monty's going to be pressuring Stoches at the rafters. That there's not much that Stoches can do here other than just try backing off or playing aggressive a bit. As the Monty distracts them, the enemy team can just peek from anywhere, and this is a good play by the Monty, and just putting his shield back up. He took no damage from that, and he lit up Jaeger a bit, as Lord Macklin's going to take out Thean.
Yeah, that puts Stoche in a very tight spot. Gets spun on by the Monty, knife not quite connecting there. Total defense picks up one on the round, only gets a slight tap in the shoulder for recompense.
This is very well done, as Proximity Mine is going to go off, and Ajax is going to get taken out by Twist as he tries to peek it. And Pizza Cake's going to once again try contesting Rafters, as you know he can't take out the Monty, but he sees Macklin there, and Valk is going to try flanking around. She can probably get a kill on Twist right now, as he has no flank watch on him, and that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a 4v2. Still very clutchable, as they know where at least two of them are, and they know that at least two more bottom floor. And the Nitro's not going to do much, unfortunately.
Claymore on the drone hole here just to catch anyone that's not quite aware of it, or just not paying attention as they try to rotate up cache stairs. Ooh, this flank almost finds Sophia of Nemesis, but not quite, just not able to take that shot in time.
And it looks like Valk is just gonna take out two of them, as they didn't know where she was, but she definitely knows one is Rafters right now, as he's gonna accidentally pre-fire his team but not gonna hit him, and Experimental is just not able to get the kill. He looked confused as to where everyone else was, and just decided to run away from the gunfight, as he wasn't able to get the kill and didn't know where they were.
Yeah, there's just too many angles to watch there for Experimental, trying to watch both Garage and the Breach and behind him in cache. Puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, but he did get two really good kills there. He was able to get the Monty, who didn't know he's behind the shield, as they didn't clear properly, and then was able to get the Thermite. And unfortunately, Pizza, who did see the head of the Zofia, I guess he didn't register it, and he missed his shots once he did, and he was able to get away from the Zofia, who, unfortunately, I think the IQ refragged onto the mute, if I'm correct.
I believe that's correct.
And this time we're going to see an Ella, so Ella could actually help, but unfortunately they're going to take away from the Monty, and they're going to get off the Ella too. Either way, both of those operators would have helped get rid of the Monty, and we saw last round, the smoke did help, although for some reason it didn't register and hit the man. But he's able to walk up with a shotgun, and the Monty's going to become a Yana this time. So once again, if they use Yana correctly, this round can go a lot smoother, and Mile High just seem to have found their groove at this point. So it's looking up for them. It looks like we may get a 3-3 half this time.
Yeah, and that's pretty good for Mile High. I mean, if you're on attack and you've limited so many hard breach options, that's pretty good for you. But, I mean, if they come out even more ahead at a 4-2, they'd be looking really great going into second half.
Especially this being a defender side of the map, if Mile High is able to get 2 more rounds, they can essentially just it's almost a guaranteed win, really.
Yeah. And obviously when you're playing for standings, that's exactly what you want. So if they're able to pull that off, that would be a very nice boost for them.
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and
Yeah, and now the actual attacking phase is going to start as still some steps are going out. A nice like hole there, but if you look through the hatch, you can actually look into the other site, which has gotten me killed a fair share of times. And especially if they're going to be playing into that hallway with the shield, and you can just see that from the hatch right into that hole, so you have to be careful about where you stand there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a place where you just want to run in carelessly. But looks like a lot of drone work will be coming out. I believe 3 or 4 drones coming out from the side of Mile High. They just want to make sure that the second floor is as clear as possible before going in. Not wasting any unnecessary time trying to find roamers, but not wanting to get in too quickly and lose that advantage. Looks like they do know that one is playing at the bottom of main stairs. They have at least 2 drones. That'll be Twiz trying to go for the kill on that. But, well, they're not. They'll find Stosh playing inside of bathroom and jungle area. We don't know.
Just going to try quickly getting a peek, but unfortunately he's not going to hit it. He's basically stuck in this area as there are defenders and are attackers on all sides of him. And if he tries swinging anything, he could just easily get taken out. He sort of learned his lesson from not staying in strip, as he knows that he's going to be countered. And he's going to get downed, unfortunately. And there goes his reign of terror for this round, at least.
5v4, but did waste a minute and a half off the clock. So that's pretty effective in its own right. Gonna give them a little bit more time, or a little bit less time to react to any changes that happen in the rest of the round, as well as giving the defenders a bit more of a clock advantage. Blue hatch getting opened will give away Thermite's position inside of stock. Also playing at about 5-6 HP means that basically the next anything to hit Thermite will in fact kill them.
Especially if he tries planting a smoke like they did last time, it's probably just going to take him out. And they don't see experiments at the top of Blue. He's just prone next to the staircase. If they decide to push Blue from the stairs, they're essentially going to get destroyed by him. But Macklin looks like he wants to stay on the hatch, as Twiz is still doing vertical destruction on top of Kitchen. They haven't pushed down too far yet. They're just trying to make sure everything's clear before they execute. But time is running out at the 30-second mark. They just come down red stairs, and Twiz is going to get down.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to really give them a foothold here. Experimental just sitting at the top of Blue stairs does finally vault over, finds the Thermite. That's Diffuser down. All of his teammates now have to basically 180 and start going back out of sight execute to go get that Diffuser. Which puts them in a very tough spot for time.
It's only 10 seconds left, and the Fuse's going to pick it up by IQ, but Experimental knows that. Oh, that's Yana. She's going to get taken out again. Sophia and IQ are both going to drop to try and take him out, but he's just going to run away. He knows they have no time now. He's going to drop in Blue hatch, and it's just going to come down to Broncos winning that round. Off of, honestly, poor droning from Mile High. They should have been able to drone Blue again, as they weren't there for a long time. At the same time, you can't exactly predict someone just sitting in a corner and just vaulting over when it's like so close to the round timing out.
Yeah. And you can't afford to really stall out like that. You just need to dedicate a push and go for it. I mean, obviously we saw their drone work in the first part of the round, but they just lost pressure as soon as they couldn't deal with, or as soon as they took out the Jaeger.
Yeah, and Stoch just really seems to love that Jaeger, and he's doing a good job with it, honestly, just delaying as much as possible. As if he wasn't roaming last round, they definitely would have had more time and could have even won that at the end. But because of the great job he's doing, there's not going to be able to do anything. And this is taking the Legion for the Monty. This is smart. They're probably going to put that all along Raptors just to make sure that he can't take out Stoch just like he did last time. But he's going to get 6 for Akali. It's interesting. So this time, what they can do with that is just take out the main wall a lot easier without having to send the IQ downstairs. And with those 3 essentially gadget denials that she has, they can get the main wall and also the construction wall and just make it a lot easier on themselves.
Yeah, it'll be pretty crucial here for whoever's playing by the plat wall there to see if they can actually shoot the LV Lance from the inside. If they can do that, they basically have the wall for free, I mean, they can just hold that for the rest of the round. But if not, then that's going to mean a huge advantage for Mile High.
They're even setting up ADSs there at the top so he doesn't get flashed again. And I think Experimental is through Legion Mine out there if I'm correct. But the drone setups are actually not in. We mainly keep them outside as one just went into oil. And it's just going to stay there to make sure that no one can sit down in oil and just shoot up at the stairs.
I'm not sure if the Cade put the Artillery Claw on the inside wall of construction again. It was interesting to see that the last time they played up here, they actually put the Artillery Claw on the concrete for construction. It doesn't look like they did that this time. So that wall will be not guarded at all if they want to do a quick push.
I'm not sure if they'll open up anyway to begin with, just because they only bring one hard breacher, right? They only have thermite. If they want the Hibana, they could open up the construction wall, but the way they're going about this is they want to open up the construction wall and the main wall. So they're probably going to dedicate both thermite charges to that, especially because, once again, he can't be tricked right now.
Right.
If they're about the Hibana, they'd probably otherwise do as such.
It's like the Artillery Claw will find the one thermite charge, so that's good timing there. Cade does pick it back up and throw it again, so gonna have a lot of time here to sort of just bait out these LV lances. As soon as the Cade hears the LV lance get fired, they actually do have enough time to pull that immediately back up off the wall. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. This could find it. Oh no, looks like Cade did not get it in time. Okay.
Oh, he didn't get it. Okay, so yeah, this just secured main wall for them, but he's gonna take his second one. And as Thermite's gonna put it on the wait, there's no way this works.
Oh, just barely pulls it off in time. Beautiful timing there from the Cade. Exothermic charge is going to get zapped. That's both thermite charges down. Beautiful plays there from Ajax. Twiz Tower going to take one out on their way through sight. Does get pre-fired, but not going to connect.
Yeah, with no more thermite charges, they're going to have to challenge every single door that they can. And once again, that would have been easier with Monty, but unfortunately that's not how it worked out. Was going to get into a little gunfight with Stoches, who's just going to run back right up to site as he doesn't want to lose his life. And at this point, they know we need to play the time game. There's a minute left, and looks like they're actually sort of lost, but they are going to go to construction, just try pushing it through that one door. And I really cannot advise a singular push from one area, especially right now, as Wolves, the only other person on the other side, is dead. It's going to be a full construction push from here.
Yeah, this could very quickly just turn into a meat grinder for Mile High, and that's not the spot you want to be in. Barbed wire does get slammed. Oh, they do catch the smoke rotating. Not going to kill, though. Toxic Babe going out to block that door for some damage. Zofia impact charges going out, but not going to really connect with anything of too much significance as they try to push into sight here. This last Toxic Babe will cover the site for a little bit, but smoke does go down in the process. Experimental does find both of them as they enter sight, though. It's down to just Zofia of Nemesis. It looks like about 10 HP does get taken out by Stoches to finish the round.
Yeah, that round was just on the back of Ajax right there. He completely made sure that they could not open any walls with that masterclass K-tricking that he did there. And once again, what's the Thermite gonna do at this point? He just ran out of both of his charges, thinking that he could get both of them. And that's the problem with Kali, is that she destroys everything on the wall, whereas Thatcher, that would have been pretty easy. But you can time the Cades with the Kali charges to make sure that you can still get the Thermite trick off. Or sorry, the K trick off, and the Thermite's trying to put it on the wall. But because it's Kali and destroys the Thermite charge too, he just tried his best, or that's what Thermite did, he tried his best, and Cade was just able to outclass him and was able to keep everything on the wall.
Yeah, and the timing there as well from Cade just made that so much harder to try to Kali trick off, because you have to get it in basically the second and a half where the Cade is still activating. And obviously when you're firing a projectile, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, and as you see real quick, Twiz accidentally picked the Echo. For those who don't know, he's currently banned as just randomly, I don't know % chance, but his drones will become invincible. It's not patched yet, so he said that he's 6ing off the Wamai, so he probably doesn't get protested and kicked out. And he goes on to Wamai.
Yeah. I'm learning the Kali being brought on both teams now, as Experimental is going to be taking that for the, seems like the same purpose as was mentioned earlier. But interesting to see whether Wolves will be able to match the same amount of trickiness that Ajax had.
Yeah, and it also comes down to Theon making sure that he's able to put the thermite charge on properly. As the Cade could honestly just put a charge on and leave, but I mean it's just a free wall at
Attackers need to
that point,
locate
especially
and
with the
defuse
Kali.
bombs.
Absolutely.
And also, HX Remotes is going 10-2 right now, which is really good. Like, no one else has double digits or close amount of kills as him so far. I believe the rest of his team combined only has 11, so he's basically just pointing and shooting everyone he sees. He's getting away with it very well.
Yeah, and you can't really blame him. It's just working out way too well at this point.
10 seconds
There's
remaining.
not
Yeah,
much to be done about that.
and he's just sitting down and taking his time with it, honestly. And Wolves is... Oh, this is actually kind of interesting.
Objective is to locate a
So it
bomb
looks like
and
he's
defuse
putting it further away so that 1K charge can only be tricked at one point, I guess. The way that Kali works with her destruction is she will destroy anything that interacts with the wall with her lance. So if she puts it on the right wall, no matter where the K charge is, it should get destroyed if I understand how it works correctly. So which is why it's just better to try and trick it. But they're just gonna leave it on the wall, and we'll see how it works out from here.
Really, they're only saving grace for that Cade clause that it's slightly, or it's on the other side of the wall for that one, and the other one is on the monitor rack, I guess you would call it. So they're set off the wall by enough of a amount that the Kali won't hit it, because while it does do flat splash damage, it does not have depth.
Oh, that's interesting. Alright, we're gonna see how this works out here as I think it's a
A
flashbang.
bomb has been located.
With a grenade it would make sense. Oh, it looks like he's trying to burn the ADS first, but the ADS, okay, there you go. They're gonna try getting the wall now, and they have to wait for the lance to go out first, which I don't believe Kali has done yet, so Theon's just gonna be sitting there not knowing what to do at the moment.
I don't know if that lance can actually connect from where they're going, so this could be a very large waste of time here for Bronco, as they're trying to set up on this wall that really doesn't have the ability to be tricked. They do have construction wall open because of the buck, though, so at least they have a way in.
Yeah, it's a minute 30 in, and I'm sorry, it's 2 minutes in, and they're still not inside the building at this point. It really is just a waste of time. Experimental looks like his stupid eye sensitivity as he, with every pixel he moves, it's just going crazy. He's gonna spot out one of the K charges, and I don't think he got it. Buck's in? Oh, Buck just walked in, but he's not looking the correct direction. He's just taking off behind right now. And that entire sneak play was for nothing, as total defense is looking right at him as Pizza Cake just was not looking the correct way. And they've lost a player, and now 30 seconds in, they've just got the wall open, and now they need to try setting up for a take. As Stoches is gonna try taking Garage, but with very little support, he may just go down here. Nightshell's gonna get ripped and thrown, but it's too far away. And Twisted's gonna get Ajax, and at this point, Wolves is also gonna get Theon, as Stoches is able to reach frag, and everything just collapses at one moment due to the timeout, and everyone just dies.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's the first minute and a half of the round just being basically wasted. That's what that comes down to. The Kali just trying so hard to trick the plat wall, it just cost him way too much time on the round.
Yeah, like when you get into the building at 1 minute, and you saw like they weren't setting up for too many refrags either. Like whoever walked into, I believe it was Garage, got picked off immediately, and only like a good 5 seconds later. Although Ajax was able to get the refrag, just nothing came of that. And that's what happened with Buck, who I believe was Pizza, who just walked into sight. He did have a really stealthy thing going, but unfortunately he just wasn't looking the right way, and he was taken out like immediately before he could do any damage at all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it would, if they'd gotten even one pick off of that, they probably could have gotten a bit of a foothold and taken some ground in the confusion, but it's just unfortunate the way that plays out. Do you have the ability to play attack against a different site now, at least? So we could see them switch up their strategy a bit. Obviously, they don't have to worry about trying to trick the wall anymore. They just have to worry about the hatches.
Does Kali's lance work on the hatches?
It will work vertically, but it won't go past like the lip that the hatches are on.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So yeah, that's just unfortunate. And then they can just put it on wherever they want, as long as it's not like inside the area, and they'll be able to get it. But I think they're probably gonna throw one into construction here, if I'm correct. Yep, and that one can be taken up by a grenade, but doesn't look like they have one, so it is going to be a lance again, as I think either wall will destroy that K charge.
Yeah, if it's in the corner, there should be.
Attackers
Looks like they're going to be prepping the impact trick here for the kitchen hatch against whatever might come their way. Obviously, the thermite, if they know about it, can place the thermite charge on the soft floor nearby and break it that way. But it is a lot riskier since it can be shot or impacted or whatnot.
Yeah, and Journey is going to be going in so far as they're going to be checking bottom of blue. One is already Jackal tracked, and that I believe was Lord Macklin at the bottom of blue, and he's just going to move out as the Monty slowly makes his way down. No, that was actually Total Defense who had the pulse scanner. Monty's going to be coming down blue. Once again, there's no one really contesting him. He can just walk in for free. He may hit a Legion Mine, and Total Defense doesn't know he's there yet. He finally sees it, but he doesn't know who it is. Monty's just going to be in blue right now with two people with him, and absolutely no rotates into sight, it looks like.
Lots of shots going out here from Bronco as they try to get Total Defense off this wall. UMP not the worst gun in the game to take a firefight against, just due to its stats. I mean, low rate of fire and moderate damage at best. Ocean's going to get a first pick onto Wolves. Headshot taking them out. It's going to be Total Defense at very low health trying to hold down inside of Church. Lord Macklin takes one down from inside of Arsenal playing against his Monty here. Impacts gets some damage down. Does spot the one behind the shield, but Nemesis is going to be the one to take them out.
I think that Monty still has the Gooman in him. He's not taking it out right now. He's finally going to go back and take it out, but he's taken so much damage that any bull will kill him. And it's a 1v4. You can't do much to Monty in a 1v4, and he's going to be taken out from behind as he looks straight ahead of him. Mile High did very well that round, and they're able to secure that kill. What a flick from Twist right there. That was actually really good.
Yeah, that started to look like it was going to go in Bronco's favor as they just had so much pressure inside of that lower blue area, and then they just sort of lost it all to just getting picked off one by one from all the various angles that were set up by Mile High.
Yeah, and on defense for the first time we're going to see a Mira, which I'm not sure where they're going to put on Gym, most likely in bathroom. Yeah, she just does work well in bathroom, as most people go for the jacuzzi wall, and once the jacuzzi wall is open, they have to face down a Mira, and you don't exactly want to peek a Mira wall, especially with a Vector. Though it only does have like, I believe, 25 bullets, it shoots like an 810. And there's just no avoiding the headshots with such a high rate of fire.
Yeah, it clocks in at, I believe, 1260 rounds per minute. So it's insanely high fire rate. And even if all the bullets take, 4 or 5 hits to kill, when you're getting hit by 12 a second, it's a little hard to deal with.
Yeah, especially the one-shot headshot, like just that many bullets being aimed at the head. You're guaranteed to hit one at that point, really, if you're just aiming anywhere near it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting to see the shield. Is that on the bed? Yeah, it is. Okay. Interesting to sort of block the sight line there from the window.
Yeah, I believe with that you can sit right next to or behind the bomb, and you can't see it from the window. Which, it just generally does help with staying in sight, although I think a bit to the right would help. But once again, not my strat. These guys probably have their own thing in mind right now. And Lord Macklin is going to put down his first mirror wall. I believe that is in the bathroom. They're going to shotgun open all the floor holes from Gym so that if anyone comes in, you just prone and shoot at their feet.
Mm-hmm. Also opens up the option for any deployed like bulletproof cameras or whatnot if they had brought one. They do have one on Castle actually if they want to use it, but they can place that as a crouch height and see through that as well. Looks like they're just going to have that watching the windows though.
Castle still not has placed on his last barricade. Not sure where it's going to go, as you can put in a multitude of areas, and I think Mir's going to be putting another mirror wall that's looking into Logi. Which, yeah, it does help. The Mir scare factor is definitely something that shouldn't be underestimated, as you don't really want... It's a one-way bulletproof glass, and the person behind it can probably kill you next to instantly. It's just not something you want to challenge in general. And I believe the K charge got taken out, and he's going to throw another one on, but the drone saw it, so I don't think Thermite's going to put it on the wall. Oh, he did it anyway. Alright, and Cade's back to tricking.
That's one off the board for them there. Worth noting, the mirror window placed on the Logi one-way can actually be shot from the outside window if someone's willing to make the risk to peek it, but it'll be
I think the
interesting to see.
shield's in the way for that, actually.
It might be.
It looks like it just barely is. There might be a tiny crack, but
Yeah, maybe with Kali's 12x, we'll see. But if not, then that's very well played by them. First footsteps getting scanned. That's going to find Castle inside of the site, watching that mirror window that we were just talking about. So Jackal's going to base a quick rotate into construction. Will give away his position with the noise, but has the gunplay to back that up.
yeah, and total defense just waiting for another upside down repel through a little punch hole. He doesn't see Ajax, who's actually just sitting on the landing. You can get a really cool angle just looking into the main stairs window from there, but I think they've completely abandoned Jacuzzi at this point, and they're just going all the way around, which is really limiting their options now, as you generally want to do a two-person take. I mean, it's just going to take out Macklin. The Vector, once again, you can't underestimate it. And that's their Jackal off the board, and no more tracking for them. And I believe someone's about to peek Nemesis Goon and immediately run away. Goon wasn't looking, unfortunately, directly at the window, but the scare factor, again, like Kali saw it, she instantly sprinted away. As Soul Defense is on the flank right now with no one realizing that or watching it, and he could just kill Stoches right now. And he's gonna get two? Yeah, he's gonna get two. Ajax and Stoches are both dead, as Macklin's gonna take out Experimental. Comes down to the Thermite, Theon, he's just gonna try his best to, I guess, get as many kills as possible. You can stab head a bit. Clutch as possible, he's gonna take out Twist, he's gonna also down the Cade. Very well done. But there is the Wamai behind him at the window. He's ready to run at any second. He just... The Wamai's not gonna do much, but Xuthian's gonna go back into sight. He's gonna get the castle. He's actually doing this, but with 3 seconds left, he's gonna get taken out by total defense, and that was very well played by Thermite, but he just ran out of time near the end as total defense capitalized on how little time was left, and I think the Mir was still hiding in the corner, so she could have come back any second too.
Yeah, still well played though by the Thermite there, trying to get just as much as possible out of the situation, just not really in a good spot to do that, obviously, on 1vx.
Yeah, I think they just gave away too many ones right there. There's too many 1v1s, not exactly knowing where he was coming towards the end, but then as much as he tried, he just couldn't do a 1v5 because mainly of the time limit, I feel like.
Yeah. We'll be seeing a Nook being present again. That's a 6 pick, yeah, but still could actually be pretty effective. We did see a few members of Mile High on the cams for a decent amount during the round, but I believe they've just realized that the soft breach and the nades is a little bit more versatile.
Yeah, accidentally bringing Melusi. I feel like he's just randoming at this point. Because, I mean, I'm Melusi and an Echo, like, I think 2 rounds apart. But regardless, they're gonna 6 off of them, and he's gonna bring Double Mine instead, which, I mean, Melusi herself is meta-defining. Like, if we just look at her, it's just 3 separate barbed wire that slows you down a lot, and you can place them in different areas. It's a very good gadget.
Gonna be seeing the ADS there placed on the first garage door rather than the sort of 90-degree angle up on the rafters. Interesting to see that placement, whether or not they're gonna be playing operated directly on that or more towards the corner. It looks like a pinging for a reinforcement there from the Cade. Just gonna need that to sort of guard it just in case the platform wall does get opened up during the round.
Attacking round's going to start real quick. Ajax just going to quickly check all the spawn peaks, as you never know, especially with collegiate. People get aggressive, people get super passive. And it looks like they left construction wall open this time, I believe. Or unless the resolution for me is just too low. Yeah, it is open, so I just could have gotten it, but they just said not to. Maya's going to be actually roaming in Master right now. And yeah, it looks like they're going to try getting this wall again. Hopefully they don't waste another 2 minutes like last time. as they pretty much know where it is. If Kali wanted, she could just go to where she initially shot it from the opposite roof, and take it out.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Not quite sure if the drone's gonna. Yeah, it instantly spots out the mute playing up, or yeah, on top of that CC table. Looks like the LV Lance is gonna be trying to find this Cade up at the top of the wall, I guess. Just trying to plant that as efficiently as possible. Does not get the one. They do get the other though, so that's just gonna be the their right side wall opened up. So that's going to be a good amount of pressure onto site. They do lose a few angles by not opening up the left side, but not much you can really do about that. They do get a nice angle onto the rafters, though.
Yeah, left side is definitely more effective, especially if you're trying to plant in there, but it looks like they try to plant construction, so you can just use that for cutting off rotates. Honestly, it's weird to not see the Kali holding it, because actually, I don't think anyone's on the... No, just Thermite on this drone over there, who could open a construction wall. And decide to still plant at CCTV. It's going to be a bit difficult, as they're going to have to run and take a left and sit behind the little rack over there, especially with one still in rafters. And like that, Pizza Cake's going to take down Nemesis. That's Jaeger gone, and he didn't take much damage back, so that's honestly a good trade.
And as we say that, there goes Pizza Cake. Twiz taking out Ajax as well. Twiz is on a roll, taking out a third for his team this round. That's experimental on that construction. Oh, I believe there was a drone that spotted him out there. Stoche just takes up one in the meantime. GCSG shots ringing out towards Stoche. Is not going to find it. Neither is the Nitro cell, as Stoche is now rotating back towards the metal stairs. Flash is going out, getting zapped by the ADS. But his teammate Theon is going to be the one to take Wolves out on rafters.
Once again, it doesn't look like they know Macklin's position. He could set up her flank any minute he wants, especially with him still seeing construction. If he looks out the window, I believe he can just take out Theon, but he has to melee it. And both operators are going to be in the opposite site. Neither of them has a C4, and the plant is going to be going down. With Stoche going to be getting twisted with that, and that's very well done, as a Legion walks into his line of sight, but he's not going to be able to get the kill. Lord Macklin is currently in a 1v2 with 39 seconds left. He's not going to see the Buck, who's going to immediately take him out. And very well done by Bronco right there, able to make it 5-5 right now, I believe.
Yeah, tying that up at the end. Very well played on that retake, I guess you would call it. But yeah, just being able to bring that back from a man-down advantage.
Yeah, that was exceptionally well done. As I think it was a 2v3 or 2v4 at one point, and just able to bring it back and win the round after a plant.
Yep.
We're gonna finally see a Valk from Nemesis once again. The Valk brings like exceptional utility, and they don't have an IQ to spot the cams easily. So once they 6 onto it, there's not going to be much point, but they're still going to bring the Cade, the Pulse, everything that you really need for bottom floor, especially as you use the Pulse in order to, I guess, check blue every now and then to see exactly where they were coming from. And once he saw more than one ping in blue, he just focused his entire team's defense there. And Experimental is going to be 6ing onto Ace, and he's going to call for a rehost immediately. That is unfortunate from him. Yeah, I guess he was probably take the Yana, but he just accidentally hit Ace.
Yeah. They did call it before prep phase, so they will be able to honor the rehost. But we'll be back in a little bit with that set up, as they are filling out of the lobby here so that the match can get back underway. All right, we are back. Match is ready to go once again. We are set 5-5 on the scoreline. Mile High versus Bronco on Clubhouse. Mile High, I believe, is able to go wherever they want at the moment. Looks like that's going to be basement and church.
Yeah, last round was rehosted once again because he accidentally 6 to ace. And with Church, yeah, last round, Mile High did an exceptional job at holding it. They just slaughtered everyone in blue and made sure that nothing could be done. So, I mean, really, if you just try pushing from blue again, it may just be suicide. Once it is kind of suicide to try pushing the site from one area in the first place. So maybe try going from main stairs, or also try going blue again, but also with a dirt push this time, which could really prove effective for them.
For sure. If they're able to just maybe divert one or two people off of their blue push and just get a little bit more spread
Attackers
out.
need to locate and defuse bombs.
We'll see how well or how effectively they're able to deal with the roamers of Mile High. Looks like we might see Twist on their own with Jaeger, otherwise we might see Nemesis on the Valk. Really a lot of options there for them.
I'm thinking it's going to look like a very similar setup to last round. They're just going to throw a few Legion Mines in blue, Cage Charge, and Dirt. All in order just to make sure that the Monty can't push too hard, as it looks like a similar setup to last time, but this time Pizza Cake's going to bring a Hibana. And with this, they're just able to get more hatches this time, as last time blue they only got one. Once again, the tricking from Thermite just... Or I'm sorry, that Thermite just wasn't able to get the wall. Or any of the floors either.
Looks like they know about the hatches being reinforced from that drone work. They're gonna know that there's at least not too many playing upstairs. At the moment, they do have the pulse to sort of scout that out for them. Nothing really to worry about there. Only the Jaeger of Twiz is going to be playing offsite, actually.
Yeah, and with this we can, especially because they didn't bring the Jackal, which I believe Bronco did quite frequently, they won't be able to notice any, I guess, footsteps, and they are clearing top floor manually. Once again, the Jaeger is probably going to get pressured up by the Monty real quick. They unfortunately did not join main stairs, and he sees the Monty. He's going to probably fall back immediately as he tries pushing up too far. He could just get his head taken off, or just end up contesting someone as he just saw the Thermite real quick. He's going to try taking out the drone. Doesn't know where the Thermite went, and he's immediately going to get taken out by the Monty. Very well done by HE Experimental, as the Jaeger just wasn't looking the correct way. He's looking towards the Thermite at the top of the stairs, and Experimental just took advantage of that to unshield himself and just smack him in the head. And the Pulse sees that there's 3 on main stairs. He's going to call it out, and they're probably going to know where the push is coming from at this point.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that they lose their roamer this early into the round. They do have, or at least when they took them out, they had 2 minutes on the clock left to deal with, so they're going to be able to get these hatches open, it looks like. Using the Hibana this time around just to have a few more chances at it. Cade's not in any position to sort of stop that. TCSG is going to give a little bit of a scare to Monty, but nothing to worry about due to the full face shield.
They're going to be moving a lot faster than last round, where they push the last second. They already have hatches open at a minute, and that's really all you need. They're going to be pointing out Legion Mines at the Monty sees as well. They're also going to work on vertical destruction, and with that, the Pulse is gone. That's the Nitro, and also quite a bit of the utility and information gone, although they do still have the Valcam. They're going to open up Church wall now. They're definitely going to set up for a hard take of Church, as they know blue didn't work last time. And this is the problem of not having a rotate hole. Valk is currently stuck in blue. She can only either go around or just try going through the same way that Cade is right now. And she's going to take the approach of going up oil and going around, it looks like, as Monty's able to block all damage coming from Ash Wall.
Right, using the second Thermite charge to open up the other half of the wall gives them some longer angles to hold from the bottom of main stairs there. As well as a little bit of cover for the Thermite while they're planting as well. They do seem to know about the Valk on the rotate, and they do in fact get that. That's Stoche with another on the round with a double. Lord Macklin's able to trade back one, Wolves is able to trade back a second, but does get downed in the process.
Now it's all just up to Lord Macklin. He has to fight a Monty, a Kali, which is going to be hard in itself. It just needs a one tap to the chest, and a Buck, who's going to be watching the only rotate out. He's going to try swinging the Buck, but the Buck has a better gun. He's going to take him out. And valiant effort from Macklin, but unfortunately round is going to go to Bronco, who learned from their past mistakes and just dogpiled onto the church wall and were able to take it.
Yeah, and it's super effective that they did that as well, especially like you mentioned, because of the blue rotate not existing. They basically forced one of the few operators that Mile High had left to rotate almost halfway across the map to get back onto any sort of semblance of sight. And because of that, they were immediately taken out by the flank watch.
Yeah, and this time it looks like Experimental is going to be taking the Jackal instead of the Monty. Once again, easier to track footprints, and Nemesis is going to stay on the castle as they know they're going to be in bedroom at this point. Because, I mean, like, if you lose a site so bad, you generally just want to take it to the last one, especially when you're on overtime point. From this total defense, if they want to spare some points, they really just need to make sure that they can at least tie this map, as if, honestly, if Bronco wins one more, it's just, they get one map and they're guaranteed 1 point.
Obviously, that's the spot that they want to sort of go to here. They want to get as many points as possible, so we'll see how well that works out for them. Rotate's being made. Looks like the mirror setup's going to be basically the same as we saw it before. The one on the bathroom wall, the one on probably logistics. But ADS being placed down there as well to cover for the mirror a little bit. I believe that maybe that can be shot from the window. I'm not sure. But
either way, it's going to be a very similar setup to last time, and. Yeah. We saw they played it last time. They funneled, like the second that they lost their first thermite charge, they just gave up and left to the other side, which really was not the play. They could have just kept trying, and if they got the wall open, it would have just been a lot easier to take. Because once again, you're funneling through exactly 2 doors if you come through east, and they didn't even do anything with the windows. And when Amira's watching one of those, there's not much else you can do other than go through a singular door, which is where they just got slaughtered by the Mira in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And plus the addition of the, like, just the ability of just running into gym as well. If they really just want to get operators inside, they can do that as well, if they're confident enough their gunplay.
Two's just going to be sitting on blue, and Jone's going to miss him, actually. It's not even going to see him. And they're going to drone it one more time. They're not looking down enough. This is some really pathetic droning, though, and they're just going to see top of his head. I think they saw him, and he's going to call it out. Oh, nope, they did not, unfortunately. He's going to try his best, and he's going to be able to get the buck, and the Monty's just immediately going to refrag onto Twizzed. That could have all been avoided if the drone just went a tiny bit deeper, but they just lazy droned, and unfortunately it just did not work out for them. The wall's going to be open this time, though. That's very well done, and this is going to let them do a much better take. Bronco has a much higher chance of winning this round now that that wall is open. But they do have to contest the Mira at this point, which could prove to be extremely detrimental. As once again, if it's Kali that's challenging it, she loses after just 1 bullet, and the Mira can pre-fire her.
Mm-hmm.
Bomb located by attackers.
And that's, I mean, especially when you have Kali, especially with the sniper rifle, you don't really want to lose those pre-fires, especially if you can avoid it, just because of already the sort of disadvantage you're kind of at with that gun, at getting 1 shot for basically Mira's entire mag.
Yeah, and it looks like, I think K just rotated bottom floor. He has a nitro. This could work out extremely well for him, especially for the Monty. If they're able to ping exactly where the floor is, the second the Monty walks in, he could face death, and that would be the end for the Monty story. Along with, honestly, the most crucial part of Bronco's push, as they're going to flash the Monty, unfortunately, who... it doesn't affect him much, really, but I don't think they realized that Wolves is actually rotating and going around them as they're going to throw out 2 smokes, but they do have flank watch, and there he goes. Wolves is just going to go down right now as they start trying to plant. Dan, he didn't take much damage, although the Monty's not actually blocking the explosives too well. 23 seconds, now it's down to Ajax to plant, Monty to block him. Ajax is going to go down again. The Monty and the Hibana, Pizza and HE Experimental, they have to face down 3 people. 2 are just sitting right next to each other. He's going to try to take on his pistols. He's going to get 1. He's going to get 2. All that's left is the Mira. It's a Monty one-on-one. You have to win these every time. I don't think he knows where he is. He's going to try taking the fight, but he ADS's and Macklin's going to just take him out. And I believe with that, Mile High takes the map.
Yeah, map one.
Zip,
Ooh,
hipfire.
hipfire
Oh no,
too.
the disrespect.
That probably could have been avoided at least partially. Maybe Monty could have just walked up and punched it. I'm not really sure, but
Yeah, like at least they were able to secure a tie with this. You know, at least one team is guaranteed a point if one other wins the next map. But yeah, the Monty could have played a bit differently there. Through his own smoke worked against him as he couldn't see where the nitro was coming from, which is what initially downed Theon. And from there, like the 1v1, it would have just been better to try hip firing the Mira or just meleeing her. But he went for the ADS, which did work for the other two operators, but unfortunately did not work for the Mira. As once again, rate of fire is too high. Like she just emptied half her mag and it killed him.
yeah. Looks like the teams are gonna take a quick break, sort of regroup, possibly sub in a player for Broncos as they've got their other player back due to I believe it was a power outage earlier, but looks like they'll be having their full roster back in full force. So we'll see how that changes their play or if, what effect that might have.
Was it Mile High that actually had the sub initially? I believe Twist's a sub for Mile High, so I think Broncos bringing their own sub as well, if I'm correct.
I'm not quite sure. If that's the case, then that'll be even more interesting.
Yep.
We catch that one. Does fully flash Stosh though. Not anyone gonna be swinging in though, so not really a whole lot happening. Stosh does find Twizzed on the stairs, almost gets taken out from an upside down rappel, but the shot's not quite connecting. That Capital Fire is going to be lethal though, as Wolves is watching, just waiting ever so patiently for that push. Capital not going to be able to see the operator playing inside a bathroom there. The shoulder not going to be exposed, just barely.
And Miro's switching all the way down to basement. She could either come up yellow, but there's not even anyone waiting for her actually, or she could just go into piano and start nitroing from under, which may just be the smarter play here. She slowly works her way up yellow. She's checking the door to see that there's nothing there except possibly Nomad Charge, which she does here. She's going to keep going up yellow. Not going to shoot the drone, trying to keep her stealth. And she's not going up anymore, but Capital is able to repel in, and she's just going to try hiding her best until she can probably get a nitro off. But she's still slowly going to peek the Capital. She sees his head, completely whiffs as he walks back the correct time, but she gets the frag anyway. Very well done. The plant is going down.
10 seconds left.
This is up to Mira. She's nitro didn't work, it seems like, but she's gonna get the shotgun kill on him, and that's just GG for that round.
Yep. Not enough time and 3 operators to fight against. You're just kind of stuck in that situation. There's not really anything you can do. Especially when you still have to pick up the diffuser.
Yeah, they knew exactly where the diffuser was, and as the Maestro Cam was pinging her, I think it got blown up by the nitro, which somehow didn't kill the thermite. I guess the death may have blocked it a bit. But regardless, they were able to shotgun from under, so it all worked out.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised that shotgun managed to kill at that range, even at, 40 health. It's pretty notorious for being very inconsistent, but looks like it worked out for him there.
As they're finally going bottom, Ajax, he's gonna 6 onto the Oryx. He could make rotate holes or maybe just anticipates a Monty pick. It could be either one of those, as we don't see Oryx often, but if he and a Monty were ever to meet, like, we already know who's winning that fight, but I guess just not today.
Yep.
Attackers need to locate
It'd
and
be
defuse as many
interesting
bombs
to
as
see
they
how the Oryx is played, whether they're going to use the hatches, which could very easily backfire if they're just going to use it for rotates at this point. But I've definitely seen some Oryx plays in the past that have worked out quite well for just coming from angles that people don't expect you to come from. Suddenly being in the basement versus jumping all the way up to 2nd floor and getting a rotate, or coming through a wall that no one really expected to be opened. But
yeah, especially with that angle grip on him now, he can just bring up the gun so much faster. As earlier, you'd be stunned for a bit, and then you'd slowly bring up the gun as the MP5 doesn't have the quickest ADS time. With the angle grip, he's just able to shoot a lot faster, which is a buff that we also saw with the Maru recently, which really does help their potential of just unexpected rushes, I guess.
Shooting some drones as well, the Maestro, looking for, I'm not quite sure why they were upstairs, but they did manage to get a drone for it, so very worth it, especially for the first few seconds of the round. Looks like double repels in sync in here into the admin office. Not going to be anyone in there as they've droned it out. And they're not really taking any breaks this round, they're just going right for it.
Ajax is currently in CEO opening up the floor, but I don't think he knows anyone else's top floor. He sees a drone, which keeps him a bit wary. If he peeks that too far, he is going to get his head taken off, and that's exactly what's going to happen. He slams through a wall, but Twist is there to take him out, as he just wasn't aware that there were 4 people top floor, and he acted a bit brazen there and paid his life for it.
Yep. They did, Ajax did manage to take a minute off of the round, so well done there at least. They do know the one player is playing inside of benches. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to shoot that through the wall, but they do have him locked down in that corner. As I say that, he's able to get out of the corner, only then to immediately be traded back by Wolves. Watching the other angle, air jab being set up at the top of Spiral coming from the basement. Some charges being shot from above. I believe those were mute jammers on the wall. So that's now open. The circle desk hatch also being opened. Thermite's going to be working on opening up garage wall. Looks like their side execute is starting to come together here in the last about minute of the round.
Yeah, as the wall's open, everyone's pushed a bit far back. There's no one behind White Fan or even Yellow Pillar right now. They're all like, you see the Maestro is still stuck in that little closet. Kenny T is playing all the way to the stairs, which when the wall's being open, I don't think that's the best idea. But Wolves does seem to know that there's a Maestro there. I hope, as Maestro does have a really good kill angle, especially again with that LMG, and the only one contesting the entire wall at all is Dion. As Wolves comes down, but Experimental just not gonna budge. Just gonna wait for him to get peeked.
Looks like this yellow stairs push is going to be their main area of attack, at least for now. There's only 2 operators to try to hold against that, but it is a rather uneasy area to attack. The smoke shotgun at the bottom of the circle hatch is going to be not lethal to Wolves, as they're able to get the hipfire kill going down and then an immediate headshot dropping. It's all down to Maestro. 81 bullets and a dream. Trying to 1v5 here as the plant starts to go down. Does spot the one Nomad on the floor, is able to get out in time. Tries to go to deny the plant with the Maestro cam. It's not going to have the effort. They know where the Maestro is, but they're going to lose the firefight. But not for long, as Nemesis is able to take it back and take out Experimental to bring the scores even.
Yeah, unfortunately, the IQ there probably could have gotten the kill, but when she went prone, she had to un-ADS, and they didn't expect him to re-peek that, which may have just been poor communication, as we saw. I think that was Sophia was watching through a hole that they made into sight all the way from Yellow Stairs. But either way, yeah, the Wolves was just able to drop into hatch, and I don't know how that was allowed. I guess they just didn't expect him to be on top of it, still watching it, and then right after he dropped and got a second person, which just really did clean up sight for them and let them plant.
Not too much changing on the side of attack. Defense has some new operators. As I say that, they immediately 6-pick off of the new operator and back onto smoke, but they do have a Legion this time around. No Monty being brought to hard counter, but there are some operators that could get in pretty quickly, so that'll be a nice deterrent for site pushes.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
And once again, they're gonna be running back the site, and they once again, like, once you lose or win a site, you generally know what you've done right or wrong, and you can go based off that. We had a nice synced reinforcement there before Dean went, I should not reinforce next to my teammate. That was a waste of time.
Yeah, and it's also just a little bit annoying to boot. But looks like similar reinforcements all around, not much changing really at this point. I'm just gonna be going for a similar setup, just try to figure out what they can improve on this time around.
Yeah, this time they fixed it wrong by making sure they don't have the Oryx now, so they could better just use the utility versus the enemy team. As once again, if Mile High comes completely from the top floor again, you're gonna have to want more than one person up there to contest them. Or you can just leave it all together and just only do the first floor as they make their way down. As you do want to like delay them a little bit, but when they go all in on top floor, it is extremely hard. As Experimental's gonna be staying inside copy room, hoping that Joan doesn't see him, but not sure how well that will work. As Total Defense doesn't actually see him. I think he may be indicating he's on the right wall. He hasn't gone in yet, and he's found, and he's gonna get missed on.
Out of there, yeah. Only one shot of damage, really. Makes a rotate to get into projectors. Immediately going to be dropping down back towards site. Cam is guarding him on the way out. He's just going to take this chance to sort of sit in the broom closet and just wait.
Yeah, that was an extremely free kill. Unfortunately, just missed by the Hibana's guess. She didn't expect him to swing out that fast, but not much you can do about that. As the rest of Mile Highs, they now know they have the top floor after completely joining it out. They're just slowly going to make their way in, take first floor, and then obviously take basement.
They do basically have free control of all second floor, but they're still taking the time to drone all of it out, which is a little bit of missed time on their part.
Bomb diffuser has been dropped.
They are going to be droning first floor now, just the singular drone on that. Going to be making sure to drone literally every corner. They don't know where this Legion could be hiding. But as I say that, they're going to miss the broom closet and just leave it behind. This could very easily come back to bite them in just a second if they don't drone this out. Looks like they are going to go back and check it. They do see him there. And the impact's going to drop that out. Does lose a little bit more health, but the drone's also gone, and the Elysian is now back to sight scot-free.
Man, I'm also kind of surprised he didn't take so much damage, as usually, I think for 2 armors you take 50 damage. It looked like he lost around 10 health there. Just by throwing it a bit further into the corner, I believe. It was a good strategy, what he did. And once again, they're going to be doing the same thing with Wolves, watching them rotate into sight from the hatch. With 50 seconds to go, they've got a lot of walls open so far, and the roof's open. They have a very good pace right now, and they could be able to take sight soon.
Yep, they've got about 40 seconds left for their site execute. They don't have anyone on site, but they do have a lot of angles being watched right now. However, all operators on both teams are alive. This is going to turn into a team deathmatch pretty quickly here.
Yeah, so even the roamers who went down, they're pushed up just a tiny bit in order to secure their sights a bit better. As Legion just went back up Visa Sears, I believe, and Smoke is going to be contesting in Spiral. With a shotgun at that range, you're not going to do too much damage, and he is going to pay for that. He's going to get pushed by the IQ, but Ajax is going to refrag him. Nemesis just walked into the smoke, I guess, and he can try picking himself back up as Total Defense is just going to try planting the bomb. He's going to get downed by the Maestro cam. Zofia could have honestly done something about that, but she downed herself in the gas by accident, and that just leads to a win for Bronco.
Yeah, that was a closer push for sure on the side of Mile High, but the Maestro cam really just shutting him down at the end there. A little unfortunate.
Once again, in the pick phase, it looks like they're going to be picking similar operators, especially for the top floor take. There is a Ying now, which is interesting. Ying, with that recent buff, she can just, I believe it was just smoke grenades that got added to her.
Yep.
It brought back the old Ying, although not of full power, as now to instantly detonate your candles. You do have to charge them, so you can't just spam them and throw down smoke. But she does make taking sight a lot easier, especially when no one can see, and then no one can see through the smoke along with that. And they brought the Yana too. She has nades, and she can also, once again, bait people to shooting her and just have someone behind refrag.
Attackers need to
I'm
locate.
curious how they're going to use that Ying, whether they're going to put them on the windows or just kind of roll them in as they push site. Looks like they're going to be putting a shield down now for the cubby inside of admin, or console office, sorry, as they start to play that corner a little bit more closely. I'm not sure if they're placing that so that the Jaeger can play on the window, or if they can play inside the cubby a little bit more freely.
I think it's mainly because of how he died last time, or I guess it's just so that he can peek it a bit better and not get his body lit up, as that was all that Sophia could see. I don't think she could really see his head. So with that, he should be able to look down a bit more and maybe not take as much damage and get out of there safer next time.
Yeah.
Although that corner
be
is
nice.
suicide, honestly.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to try to force a hold on for sure. But just, I believe an air jab got sent there. Looks like the Gemini replicator is not gonna find anyone if it does get shot from inside of main lobby. That's Jaeger of Stosh. Just waiting for anyone to push through from benches or main door. Looks like a Capitao is going to be their opponent. The M249 with that ACOG on it. A very clear sight picture, just waiting for the helmet of Jaeger to appear.
So again, as he's just sitting in circle desk, and I'm not sure Macklin knows he's there. He's going to try getting a shot outside and taken out immediately by Total Defense. Who knew he was there? He's going to shoot up. I think he just saw the head. Although it looks like the metal pole or bar up there did stop him, as that was essentially a free kill if you can get it down a bit more. But Thayan's going to be distracted as Yana confirms that all the way up spiral stairs is clear, possibly making way for an entry of some sort.
Like, other than that, they're just going to be watching a lot of angles besides the Capitao and Yana here, who are just trying to earn a little bit of pressure on console office as they push their way up yellow. Experimental does find Nemesis. That is the that's one off the board for Mile High, so they will have to try to fight that loss now, as Experimental is going to drop down onto first floor, get some shots onto Capitao, but not going to connect enough, as Twiz is able to swing that and peek him back.
Yeah, that was almost bad for Capitao. Not an aggressive enough angle, was held by Twiz, but he just sees the Maestro in sight now. This is... He's gonna be teabagging it a bit, but Maestro's gonna be sitting there. He doesn't care. He's gonna get back up finally, but Kenny's gonna take out Lord Macklin. As he got a bit too aggressive there, trying to shoot the Maestro, and he was just instantly refragged. Not able to control the SMG recoil the second time. Twiz is gonna barely escape with his life, as Kenny is extremely low, around 15 HP, I believe. And we're gonna hit a little slow point here as everyone resets back up for this take.
Twiz is going to have to peek this very aggressively as they try to cover the other side. They do manage to get Kenny T. The Nomad repelled on the window almost finds one, but not quite. Maestro's still down, but they might not know it. They do now, as he's been taken out. The Yana is on site. Tried to get the plant, or assist with the plant. It does go down. Yana's now only at 25 HP. Goes to the peak, but not going to find it. Ajax goes down to Wolves, and that's Mile High, bringing it back to a 2-2.
That was a very nice nade from the Yana there, just completely down the Maestro, who just was too carefree for that moment, honestly, especially with two people on his window. This time they're going to be bringing a castle, so the castle obviously could help just funnel where the attackers go, especially if you decide to put it between, I believe it's called the vending machine and the little small office there. You can just cut them off, decide to take admin. But again, an admin take hasn't been attempted in some time, and along with that, you can just put that on spiral stairs so that you're going to have to work a bit harder in order to open up spiral and push it.
Yeah, for sure. And plus, playing those operators there just gives you a bit more holding power. I mean, obviously they're bringing smoke this time, so they can hard deny the double window vaulting that we saw a little bit harder. Castle barricades, of course, assisting in that as well.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
As we load in, looks like they are going to try going for a similar setup. Ajax is immediately going to open up a window and connector and put a castle barricade on that. So yeah, especially with the operators they have, they usually have to waste an ass charge or two, or one Zofia charge on it, rather than using it on the Maestro that they thought that they would need. But because there is no Maestro, all soft destruction can be dedicated to the castle barricades, and that's just going to make life a bit easier for them, as they don't have to worry about anything else. They can open up connector a lot easier and just upside down repel it and make sure that no one else can cross between sites.
Yeah, and if I were Bronco at this point, I'd be very focused on trying to just destroy as many drones as possible to deny the intel that Maestro has not been 6th picked. So, at least in my opinion, that would be a decent use of their prep phase, just to sort of even more nail home the importance of taking out those castle barricades. Looks like, as you mentioned, the Ash Charge is going to be immediately used to break one of the 3 castle barricades. This could be, is Ajax really gonna go for this? Oh, he is! Oh, Nomad turning away at just the right time to not see it. Second Ash Charge goes out. Does find another one of the barricades, as Stosh is just waiting at the bottom of yellow to take out the Ash as they run in. Nomad air jab going out and onto the top of the double windows. That's gonna be that sort of covered from a run out. They do find the 3rd castle barricade now at the top of the yellow stairs, just waiting for anyone to push up and sort of deny them. Some shots from upside down repels do find Ajax, but not going to do more than a single bar of health.
Yeah, as currently, although they are a man up, Bronco is a bit low on HP compared to a Mile High. But once again, like, in a one-shot headshot game, the HP at the end of the day, as long as you have to hit your shot, doesn't really matter. As total defense is going to try going to window. I guess he didn't know it was castle. Then he's going to get onto the roof. As Ajax is just seen there completely. He's going to. Oh wait, huh?
Oh,
what?
Nope. Okay.
Alright, he thought better. He thought better of it. Good. Okay. For a second there, I thought everything was going to go awry, but wait.
What?
He's trying to bait out the Ying, I believe. who's just he's wasting a lot of time here. Actually, it's kind of genius what he's doing right now. He's just slowly baiting out the Ying. Keep trying to punch it open. He just like pretends to tear it off real quick, and then
Yeah, I can't tell if this is Galaxy Brain or not. Honestly, it's I don't know. Like it's wasting so much time. Okay, does not see the one in bathroom. He's gonna go down to Lord Macklin. That's gonna be another operator down in this round. Now even to a 4v4, but health advantage is in the favor of Mile High.
yeah, but unfortunately, it looks like Tollivan's just gonna ignore the castle wall after all of that. Like he has several punches in, you can just open it easily, and the Jaeger would feel a lot more pressured. But I guess the bathroom may not have been called properly as he peeks and he gets taken out. Ying's gonna blind Capitao on accident, as I believe the Stoges is still downstairs, and Lord Macklin's gonna get taken out by Kenny as the Ying starts trying to plant.
Ooh,
And
nice shotgun there.
a lot of shots going out here, but they don't know where the Ying is, as I think they do now at least, but it's a 2v2 with HP on the side of attackers. One who's prone in the corner and one who's on the window, both of which can easily die. And there you go, through the feet holes of the castle barricade. The Vigil's gonna get taken out, and more footholds, and there goes Dan.
Yeah, the super shorty castle actually coming back to bite them pretty hard at the end of that round, giving basically 2 free kills to that Ying. Unfortunately, that's why a lot of teams don't reinforce more than one wall on that triple between sites, just so that you have the option to pre-fire those angles. But both reinforcements there gave the Ying the perfect opportunity to sort of chill out and watch those footholds.
It looks like now they're finally gonna bring the Maestro back. Like we said, Maestro's a really powerful operator, and especially on this site, you can just put both cameras next to the white van on the floor, and you can see right under them and be able to take down anyone who tries planting.
6-pick off of the Cade onto, not sure yet, but an interesting 6-pick nonetheless, onto a Legion here. Gonna lose some denial on the hard breach, especially against a Thermite and Hibana. This could be an interesting pick for sure. Will slow down the pushes and potentially deny some plants, as we mentioned before, but they haven't really been pushing too hard, and they've been doing a pretty decent job at spotting out those goo mines. So it'll be interesting how effectively that the goo mines are able to be used, especially since they have to generate over time throughout the round.
Yeah, operators like Legion and Wamai, they are generally meant to be anchor, at least soft anchors, because their utility generates overtime. And that overtime generation just makes sure that they can't roam to their benefit, as you do need to use those things on site generally to stop some sort of push or some sort of utility use. And that's, honestly, it's just a genius move on the side of the developers.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, it gives them a sort of soft role where you can play them outside of it, but it's not necessarily as effective.
Seriously thought about being the castle this time, which actually did kind of help last round, as it did delay them quite a bit.
Yeah, especially with the very aggressive castle replacement mid-round that we saw. But looks like they're just going to settle for wood this round, not really caring about the bulletproofness of their windows too much.
I think I just saw Twist with the... Yeah, look, he has he has the attachment skin from the final Battle Pass level. Man's been grinding out Siege these past few days, apparently. I'm still on 20. This man's on 43 at least.
Yeah, so I just hit 20 earlier today myself, so that's pretty impressive. Stosh is immediately going to take out Wolves. That's the Nomad off the board. I believe only 1 air jab fired in an exterior window, so not a lot of utility getting used there. There is one propelled upside down outside of Printer. Might find Stosh if he goes for an aggressive peek here, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, or maybe it will actually. Ooh, pre-fire almost finding one, but doesn't find the second one, who's actually inside of Printer, who's going to return the fire there.
This push might prove to be very effective. It looks like all of their utility, or at least a majority of it, is based towards the yellow side and the CO office side, as that's where they've been pushing this entire time. But now that they found a weakness in admin, they seem to be just pushing admin with only experimental who can possibly flank them. And with this, site should just be an easy take, because I believe there's only 2 on A right now. They're going to try opening the wall right now, but it's Hibana. It could just be taken out, and Stoach is going to do exactly that really quick.
Yeah, Maestro Cam assisting in that endeavor as well, as they do spot out both operators just vying for that corner. Smoker or Flashbang does not actually affect Maestro cameras. They don't manage to shoot those Hibana pellets off
Bomb
in time.
located by
They
attackers.
aren't quite able to see the outline there of, I believe that's smoke, but through the hole. Flashbang does go out, will force them to fall back just a little bit. Maestro's actually on the flank here. Notice the Maestro cams are not going to be very effective, at least right now. So gonna just go on the roam with the Alda and try to claim anything. Does give away their position with the pre-fire, almost finds some shots onto Twiz, but not gonna connect. Now their position is compromised, so they will be falling back and trying to rotate through site a bit more safely. Soon gonna be able to pick up one in the meantime as well on site, holding down for dear life with all of the Hibana holes that have been made.
Yeah, we're coming down to 20 seconds now, and it's still a 3v5 on the side of the defenders. This is looking good, as there's still a flank setup, I believe, from Spiral Stairs, and Smoke just gonna slightly miss his gas grenade, but he's gonna take it out again. Total Defense gonna get on Kenny, a refrag from Socius onto Total Defense. Lord Macklin gonna refrag onto Thayan again, as Plant is going down, 3 seconds left. But Matrix is going to come out of nowhere, and Ajax is going to get both Macklin and Nemesis, and he's going to secure the defense round win for his team.
Yeah, very close at the end, especially for time. They just keep running the clock down as much as possible for their defense. They'll be switching sides now to offense, so they'll have to play against the same sort of timekeeping strategy that they've been seeing this entire match.
Yeah, once again, it's a 3-3 on the half. I believe last half I think it was 2-4, but I think it was Total Defense. No, who was it? Mile High, I believe, who brought it back. I don't remember last nap, but regardless, it is 3-3 now, and they are going on to the defense half for Goon. Or sorry, I just read his clan tag name. His Mile High, sorry. Mile High is going to be on defense now, and with what they've done on attack so far, they should be able to do a lot better, as defense is the preferred side for this map, at least.
Yeah, this map poses a lot of problems for attackers just due to the fact that 90% of the entrances to this map are either walls that require hard breach or windows. So unless you're going to be getting a pick off of the window, whether that's an upside down repel or just a very aggressive repel in, it does not give you a lot of options. So you're going to be seeing a split site first hold, not a very common area to be held first round at least. Usually an off-site, but floor holes being shot from below. Looks like that's going to be opening up some sightlines through either the small utility closet below or potentially from inside a bathroom and office above if they want to do that. It'll be interesting to see which sort of vertical take they choose to adopt for this site, as it is a very vertically focused hold.
Yeah, honestly, the main play for this side is to play from under with nitros and be able to deny all plans, which is why the attackers, what they generally try doing is trying to take bottom floor. But with these mirrors and the amount of soft walls downstairs, you can just open up gigantic line of sights and just be able to hold down the entirety of bottom floor and top floor from a single room. It's quite well done, honestly. And if Mile High is able to pull this off, Bronco does not stand a chance on this side.
And that'll, yeah, like you said, that'll just put the Broncos in a really bad spot. They're going to take some time here to just sort of take out the cams that they can, get some drone work, just try to figure out where they're even supposed to start on this attack. They are about a minute into the round, so they do have plenty of time to start working on an execute here. No rush there. Pulse is going to be looking for anything from below, and obviously not going to find anything quite yet. No attackers even really on that of the map.
Yeah, the Pulse is still checking for any heartbeats you could find, trying to see where they're coming from, but they're not in sight yet. Unfortunately, the Valky's banned, who would have very much helped on this site, but they do have Maestro cams up top too, I believe. And Stoches is going to be looking around for gadgets, although Pulse is just barely out of his range right now, as Ajax are going to be droning up yellow, I believe, and they are going for the bottom push, as they know. Top floor is just going to be an explosive death trap, and these mirror walls are very well placed.
Yeah, wow, they have... Yeah, oh jeez, yeah, they have a lot of nitro cells available here for denial on the side of Mile High. 4 nitros available, 2 impacts. They have gone full explosive demolition crew here. They are not going to take any chances with anyone getting within a solid 10 feet of sight before getting sent, well, mile high. But we'll see whether or not these explosives come into play. Nemesis just outside of the range of hitting Kenny T here. Nade goes out, will alert. Nemesis not doing any damage. The second nade will get close, but not do more than slight chip off of the shoulder of Nemesis.
Looks like they're going to be rotating for top floor maybe after taking bottom so much. They're going to be looking through the kill holes. And they're going to start to defuse. There's 3 on site right now, and if he's going to start getting tased, the nitro does nothing. The second nitro will also do nothing, as that's, I believe that's both nitros? No, there's 1 more nitro left.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's 4. Oh, wow, 4 nitros.
Still 2 on the board.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're not good. They're just going for it. Those floor holes did kind of come back to bite them though, as they kind of got stuck. Lights, unfortunately, are bulletproof. Stoches and Ajax each taking a kill. Stoches finding a second. It is a 2v4 now. Pulse at very low health from his own nitro explosion earlier in the round. Ajax finds them. It's all down to Wolves to try to 1v4 this situation. 5 seconds left on the diffuser. There's not really anything you can do in this situation. Wolves is going to find one, but timer's going to expire, and that's the end of the round for Bronco.
Fortunately, Mile High just didn't place their nitros properly. There should have been like a tiny kill hole open up under where the, I think it was thermite planted, so you could lob a C4 all the way up there. But they unfortunately did not just account for that, as you can plant on many of the desks. It just comes down to throwing the C4s like right under them, I guess, or even just a bit below them against the wall. That'll still kill them, but they unfortunately did not do that, and that just led to a complete denial of what they were initially hoping for. And 2 nitros didn't even go out after the pulse saw multiple people top floor. So it's just small mistakes there that eventually led to Mile High losing that round.
Yeah, plus kind of I guess just a congratulations to the thermite from Bronco for even knowing about that plant spot. I did not know that you could hop up onto the second tier of that cabinet, because that completely saved them from the damage of 2 nitro cells and actually ended up returning more damage to Mile High than it did hurt. Zofia being 6th picked there by Ajax, and instead of the Ash, bringing a little bit more utility at the cost of some speed.
Attackers need to
That
locate and defuse bomb.
the timer has really been a thing that they've been focusing on too heavily. It seems like they've been getting the plants down rather late in the round, but it's working out for them in the end, so can't blame them.
Yeah, interesting pick of a Rook instead of a Doc. With Doc, you can generally get more aggressive, especially because you can heal yourself back up for 40 entire HP, or even revive yourself to 75, or teammate to 75, I believe. With the Rook armor, it just helps you take more damage in general, I guess. It's more of just a team-wide based health utility, as everyone gets an extra armor class. Jaeger is 2 speed now, I believe, so he'll get a 3 armor, which is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, plus it gives you, as long as you're not headshot, a guaranteed down but not out state at least once. Obviously you can't do it twice without a Doc, but no Doc present, as you mentioned, so I'm not really sure that that's going to come into play at all in this round.
No, it's most likely just going to be the reduced damage taken, and that's about it. Along with the impacts, they do help, which is another reason some people take Doc instead of Rook. I'm sorry, Rook instead of Doc.
So flashbang's coming out, a little bit of a misclick there, but drone going out as well for backup. Gonna probably find the UMI playing inside of admin office here in just a short second. Nomad with the ARX, just waiting for anyone to get too aggressive on this Visa door. Not going to find anyone though, as there's no one that's going to quite peek and angle that aggressive this early into the round.
Yeah, things are still a bit slow right now as all the drones are coming in. They're all looking like they're going to try taking admin window, and because this happened earlier, I believe, or no, rather, they just know that they're going to come from admin, sorry, but yeah, it looks like I think that's all 5 lined up at the admin windows, and it's just going to be hard for Troll Defense to hold on as he's the only person there. And it may just be in his best interest to fall back before he loses his life, as if he comes back with his life, he can at least contest them later on. but if he dies, it's just not worth it. And he realizes that he's gonna fall back all the way back into sight and keep his life alive.
Yeah, and that's obviously very important as well. The more people you have alive, the more guns you get on target, and those crossfires are absolutely lethal, especially in Siege. As Kenny T is going to be making their way up spiral stairs, they do see the rotate hole made into projector. They'll be able to sort of shoot anything from that, we'll see, but they do have a sight line there for later in the round if the Hibana is able to open that up. Looks like Sled's going to make a little tiny hole and then following it up with a bigger hole for Hibana to shoot those pellets through. Not sure if one of those pellets got stuck on the floating piece of debris. It looks like that's not the case. P90 not able to find all of the pellets due to the very high recoil. Is that a long barrel or a compensator? I can't quite tell. So Experimental's going to find wolves in the meantime. That's the Legion down. I believe all of the goo mines will have been deployed at this point, though. Drone now going to find Twizzed. Unfortunately, not on the same floor as Stosh's, as they will not be able to trade that out. Stosh is just below, working their way up towards Kenny T, and instead actually 180 and go towards Yellow Stairs. Does know that there's one playing up near the top of that. Ajax finds one. Mark McKellen finds 2, Total Defense finds 3, Lord McKellen finds 4. Only 1 traded back in the meantime. It's all down to Ajax trying to hold down this plant. Total Defense is just a hair's breadth away. Will get air jabbed off, saving their life, but Lord McKellen taking a 3rd for the round and getting that defuse.
Ajax there, you saw him get up very desperately, hopefully trying to get a single kill at least, but he was taken out extremely quickly. Not much you can do in that situation. 3 people converging on you. You're just sort of screwed. There's nothing you can do at that point, especially when you're just getting off plant.
Yeah, that is just death. There's really no other option. Scoreline now evened out to a 4-4 once again. Basically a mirror matchup what we saw match 1. Now heading back to basement and cafeteria once again. These teams will be bringing relatively similar loadouts as well. Operators not really changing too much. Obviously, if it works, they're sticking to it.
The mirror has honestly just proven to be effective. Like, once again, I keep talking about the scare of just seeing a mirror wall, and it does keep proving itself as multiple times we've seen members just see the mirror and just dart to the other site. Experimental's going to 6 off the sledge, curiously. I can only assume a buck if he 6s at all. No, he's going to stick to it, just going to bait out the casters and make us look stupid, but yeah, sledge is a lot better for at least destruction going downwards because he has the nades too, and the sledgehammer I believe has more uses for the amount of area there is.
Like the triple reinforcement's going to come back. I'm not quite sure where they're going to place their mirrors, if they're going to keep them the same or change them up this time. We'll have to see.
And because I don't think we've seen the mirror being played on this site yet. The only things I could think of is obviously one in the small CC office, and then maybe another watching backwards, or one just watching to B's site. Now either way, the mirror can work here. It is long angles that you have to contest, especially with the vector, which I'm not sure how much the recoil will allow for that long of angles, but you can still make it work regardless.
Yeah, I'll be actually kind of interested to see if they're going to play the Cade on the mirror window here. That's how I've seen some teams play that in the past, is they'll play their DMR or more AR-styled defenders on the mirror windows, just so that they have the range advantage there. Obviously, the one watching Yellow Stairs is going to be pretty crucial for trying to hold down the push from that side of the map. It's like an admin office take is going to be what's coming out from Mile High. They're going to be shooting the cam inside of Visa here, taking that out as quickly as possible. Well, that does sort of expose their general whereabouts, if any of the operators are on that cam, and it seems like there is at least one on Bronco that's going to be watching that.
Yeah, Nemesis is going to be cut out extremely quick, as he's going to get wallbanged by Stoches, as he got drawn out extremely quickly. Even if he tried making down the stairs, I'm pretty sure the sledge would have caught him off, and with that, that's one down already with no damage on the side of Broncos. That was an extremely good roam clear. as I believe within like a few seconds of getting in the building, they just immediately took him out. He tried to initially push and get rid of Stoches, but Nemesis was droned out like almost immediately and just decided to book it.
That bullet hole angle from the Cade of Wolves could be devastating later. Looks like they're not going to be playing it right now. They're instead choosing to opt for the nitro denial from below. I guess at the meantime, they do have to worry about the sledge opening up a lot of angles here, though. So this could very quickly turn around in against Wolves in what previously was favorable. But no, Nitro will actually down Experimental. Whether or not they know that, unknown. Doesn't seem like they do. No shots ringing out through the floor. Looks like Experimental is going to get picked up by the teammates inside of Piano. Circle hatch is getting opened. That's Thermite's job done, basically, for the round. Mute Jammer does catch one of the drones. And that'll leave it down to sort of Twiz to just hold this as aggressively as possible, I guess. They're just going to be proning, peeking that whole thing. Diffuser is going to be making its way towards site as they start to work towards the site. Execute 5v4 situation, about 40 seconds left in the round. Shots not quite finding anyone yet. Sledge still at a sliver. Wolves also at just a sliver of health, trying to find each other. Flashbangs going out from Thean, trying to find really anything here as they try to make their site push. They've lost about 20 seconds, half of their available time gone. Now just really at this point a game of attrition that they're playing. Just trying to see who can find what in the meantime before the site execute finally happens at about 10 seconds left.
10 seconds to go. Attackers drop.
Thermite immediately being taken out.
This diffuser just down already, and it has to come down to a frag fest now. Total defense needs to stay alive, and he will. That was very well done. He's able to take out one person, and he's able to stay alive the entire time.
Yeah, Cade did an excellent job there taking down the Thermite as well. Just stalling for the bare minimum of enough time for them not to get the diffuser back into their possession.
Yeah, that very end, Cade, he was able to save their entire team right there, as just taking out the diffuser with no one else ready to take it up, like no one else was with the Thermite, which is what you generally want, so that if the Thermite dies, someone else can plant. Everyone else was just too far off, but it's just unfortunate there.
Interesting to see a Mozzie being brought once again. It's a thing that we saw before. I believe it was on the other team's defense side, though. I'm not sure if we've seen it played at least in this capacity. Monty being brought out once again. Haven't seen that in a while, but going to be seeing that brought out for probably a potentially actually a front door push if they want to just go straight onto site and plant.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just really one day I want to see an Oryx and a Monty just duke it out, because I mean Monty's just, he just pushes everything. You can't do much about him other than try juking him out, or having another teammate come and help you, or just use utility. I just want to see an Oryx slam him to the ground and just destroy him.
Yeah, Monty's just a very oppressive presence in general, just due to the sheer intimidation factor of a walking door of steel.
Yeah, Monty's nothing to be messed with. And looks like Mile High is going to go with another similar defense using the mirror walls. Hopefully they can make it work this time, as they do know what went wrong. They've pre-placed the holes, especially for that plant this time. I believe they can even shoot him from there, but this time the nitros are just going to go out super fast. And once again, they just need to make sure they use all their nitros, not just half of them. They need to use as much utility as possible when the plant is going down. So even after the plant is done, when they try exiting site, you can at least hit them quite a bit. And that's just going to help with the retake a lot more.
So Cam getting taken out from outside. They have at least some intel denial at least brought now. I believe all the exterior cam's gone, so the bare minimum for their cam denial has been done for the round. You're going to be trying to drone ahead, see really what they can find. They do know about the Mozzie pest, but it's going to get captured anyways. Once again, this mirror window is going to be holding Mozzie in position, just giving them an opportunity to either nitro out or peek. As well, it gives them an angle that they can shoot the pest drones out of to deny any sort of drones coming at them.
Yeah, Monty's slowly going to be making his way into kitchen now, or cafeteria it's called, and the pulse does detect him, although they don't know who it is. The first flash is going to go out. It's not going to do much to the shield, or the mirror wall, I believe. They go deeper. I think he's still on his drone, actually. Doesn't even realize he's getting flashed. Then he comes and hits him. He just doesn't care. He's finally off of it. He's going to trade out with someone else, and they do see both the mirror walls. It could just be in their best interest to go upstairs again, but it looks like they're trying to force it with the Monty. And you can see a tiny bit of his foot, but Wolf is not going to take the shot, unfortunately.
A bomb has been located.
Yeah, this is going to put Monty in a pretty tight spot. He's got to peek against the multiple enemies here with explosives on the board, so not a spot you really want to be in. You can instead push up and sort of go for the upper site take here. Just not going to even bother trying to 1vx against the other operators. Does point out the reinforcements to his teammates so that they know what angles to be wary of versus not concerned of. It looks like that's going to be the case. Ooh, the pulse almost getting spotted out, but not going to get shot in the end. Able to cross over safely is just a brief second of them is what the attackers can see. Looks like they have upstairs basically for free at this point. They just have to worry about these vertical holes, which are very carefully placed. And Bonna not really going to be exposed quite yet. Does know where they're at due to the pulse scanner. Maestro Cam will be pinging that from below for nitro cells. Not going to connect though. Is going to have to resort to trying to zap on the Maestro Cam. Unfortunately coming out too late as the nitro actually blowing up total defense and getting the Maestro Cam there in the process. Free Fire almost connects. Does now can finally connect and take out one. I believe that was Kenny. They now are trapped down below because of the Monty on Spiral. This is a nightmare situation for Mile High here. All Monty has to do is basically just sit in this doorway. Stosh is able to find one.
At this point, it's just gone. The round's done at this point. They're not going to make the diffuser on time. They're trying to go around. There's not much can be done.
Time, yeah.
Yeah. And just from our BM, they're both going to die.
Yeah, a little bit of KD padding at the end of the round for Broncos.
Again, Mile High play that incorrectly again, where they first nitroed the wrong area, and the Maestro Cam could have actually downed the Hibana. He instead decided to keep spotting her instead of zapping the Hibana, which they could actually down her. And along with that, they didn't have any floor holes for that specific plant. They changed their floor holes from one area without thinking of any other area they could plant, which just led to, again, nitros wasted, and I believe the Pulse killed himself with the nitro. And just, again, misplays just on the nitros and intel in general, what could be done. Like, again, the Maestro could just down the Hibana up there, but he chose not to take that path.
And especially when you have live pings and a Mira with a shotgun and a nitro cell, you can just pop a hole in the floor and throw the nitro through it as well if you're really, you know, I mean, you've got 7 seconds. You've got plenty of time to execute that. But we'll see. They have the opportunity to go up to console office now, so that's where they're going to be heading. Whether or not they're going to play that more to their advantage and take the lead in rounds once again.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
And with top floor, they're going to run a similar setup, it looks like. They did win this last time, so if they just run it back, they can do it one more time and at least guarantee themselves match points. But at the same time, like I always say, Bronco knows what to do now, and they will definitely take advantage of that and try their best to counter them.
It's like similar reinforcements going to be getting set up to previously here, so not too much changing on that half. I mean, I believe that they won this site the last time that they were here, so if the same strategy works, might as well stick to it.
5 seconds
And
left.
again, total defense this time. They may just put someone on the window to make sure you can't rotate out in time in stocks, but if they're able to do that, it's just the man advantage. Like, I believe the statistic is 80% of the time when you get the first pick, you generally win the round. So, and especially when we're moving more to a frag meta instead of just pure utility as it was earlier, which is where I believe G2 excelled before they fell off and stuff. But yeah, we're going to see what happens here. Stoch is already downstairs. He is going 11-7. That is amazing to see. Takes his IQ scanner to scan as many things as possible. Doesn't see too much. He's going to try shooting some stuff through the floor. possibly ADS of my charge, I believe, and with that, Jaeger's gonna get the floor under him taken out by the Jackal, but it looks like he's gonna escape undamaged.
Unfortunately, this ADS is not placed on the tables just above the floor, which does make them unable to be shot through. But still, they provided some time denial for the IQ, so at least they provided a certain amount of utility so far.
It's a little cheeky bullet holder coming out, but it looks like they're gonna see anyone through it, I think. Yeah, they're just gonna be throwing out drones and trying to take the rest of the top floor. But they know that someone's there. They're gonna be playing this a lot better with 2 people in admin this time. It is a bit late to try rotating all the way around, although you can feasibly do it if you try going from the other side. But it looks like Nemesis is going to take a bit of damage, but he's still going to be fine for now as he comes all the way back to site. Leading total defense all alone and stuck in a corner right now, although they may not know he's there. And if he's lucky, he can get a kill.
Yeah. Piling up on the windows, it's going to be Ajax trying their best just to get into sight, or really anywhere near sight, and just try to get a foothold for the round. No one off the board yet, just some damage on Jaeger. That's really all that they can show for themselves for 2 minutes in. The drone does spot out, though Amai, the pre-fire is going to come out, but on that angle actually can't be shot from the windows, so if Amai just holds tight here, they can potentially get a pick or two. Pre-fire coming out, actually going to take some damage back in return. They need to take this time to reload here as they shuffle under the desk. Oh, almost finding the Nomad, but not quite, as the feet is sticking out the other end for Jackal to shoot at. One finally down on the side of Mile High. Jackal very low health for Broncos. Will be taking some damage from that goo mine. Will be forced to pull that out. Now down to about 15 HP. Bono finally getting some pellets onto projector wall and opening that up.
Unfortunately, I think Experiments will just shot some of his own Hibana pellets there, which is going to make getting in a bit tougher, and I don't think they get through the hole. The one way in is being watched by the Rook with a P90, and IQ just walks into it. It's a slaughter. Last one, Hibana's going to try planting. Oh, wait, no, the Kenny's still alive. He's getting on C. Oh, wait, what is this?
Kenny's all the way on admin.
Yeah.
Kenny's nowhere to be found.
Luckily, the plant's going to go down, but Kenny can come in and hopefully help his teammates. He's going to throw down an air jab, I believe. No, he's not going to. You could definitely use one on the door, but with low HP and the the Rook able to take him out is just now down to Kenny to guarantee his team at the very least match point. He's going to be able to take out Twist, and McKellen's going to get hit by his air jab, but there's 18 seconds left, 17 seconds left. You need to kill him in the next 10 seconds. You want to be able to defuse. McKellen's going to get aggressive here. Kenny is going to read it like a book and back out. Bronco's going to win that round by the skin of their teeth with so many misplays and only able to get inside admin at the last 50 seconds. They're still somehow going to win out the round after learning from their multiple failures of the last rounds, and that was just wonderfully played at the very end by Bronco, despite the multiple misplays that they made during that round.
And this saga, absolute multi-part story here between Mile High and Broncos finally coming to a close here with the very last round to be played. Whether one of them will be crowned the partial victor or whether it will be a full tie is all down to Mile High's performance this round.
Yeah, at this point, total defense, they need to win this because, I mean, I believe with a partial loss, you don't get any points and enemy team only gets 1 point. So if you want to gain yourself a point, like once again, standings do matter. So you're definitely going to try getting as many points as possible. And this just comes down to making sure they don't make any stupid mistakes and they're able to hold this well. They're going to go into the same site one more time. They can try holding admin the same way, but they need to make sure that they don't screw up like they did earlier of just throwing their lives away.
Yeah.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
Going
can.
once again to second floor, they were so close to holding this last time. And it's going to be whether or not they can hold it again. Obviously, they had a few lucky picks on their part. Obviously, the IQ running into a pre-fire, not ideal for Broncos, but they managed to pull it back. However, they also lost the Amai very early on the side of Mile High. So whether or not they can sort of hold down admin for even longer this round could be very much the winning factor.
Yeah, McKellen going to put another castle barricade up there to make sure that people can't just... Once again, you can look through the spiral windows and you get really long angles and make sure that no one can rotate.
5 seconds.
Or even just push up spiral itself, and that's just not something you want. You want to follow them into as few doors as possible, so you know where to focus your guns instead of spraying them out and just take them head on.
Looks like a pretty aggressive peek here from Legion, just watching that main door. Not going to be shooting anyone quite yet, but just waiting for those goo mines to charge up. Does have one in the pocket ready to go.
I believe that's 3 flashbangs already wasted with nothing being done to act upon them, which, I mean, they could have been used for burning out ADSs, but I guess just not going to happen. Then Monty is on the field, and we obviously seen Monty can do quite a lot, especially it looks like he's going to be pushing the main door and going up Visa stairs, I believe.
Yeah,
This
I'm not
is
sure.
a multi-head push. It could be working out very well as long as they coordinate it correctly.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure here if Stosh's drone actually found the 2 goo mines there inside of Visa, or whether or not those were actually discovered. This could be not good for Monty. It looks like Sledge is actually going to be the one to walk onto those. It's going to take a little bit of damage from that before pulling it out, just checking the staircase, making sure they're not getting pushed.
I think it looks like Sophia's going to be taking spiral stairs, and if she does, the castle barricade doesn't really matter to her. She can just impact it open, especially because once again, there's no maestro or anything else that needs her attention. It's purely castle barricades this round, and they're just leaving the people in admin, I believe. Maybe they can try pinching them off or cornering them. They don't know is Twiz is bottom floor right now, and he has an ACOG P90 again. Monty can potentially spot him out. He is going to completely miss on Kenny. That was a vital kill right there. Could have gotten the first frag, but unfortunately the P90 recoil just wasn't working with him. And now there's someone downstairs, they're probably going to air jab it off, and they just lost something that could have completely turned the round around.
They do still have 2 minutes gone off the round because of that, though, and Twiz does still get the first kill regardless. Kenny is able to immediately trade it back, but they have lost their Sledge, which is nades off the board. A ton of health off the Zofia of Stoches as well. This could be an absolute turnaround here for Mile High.
Yeah, as they finally hit the 45-second mark is when most pushes start happening. It looks like they're going to try going up yellow, I believe, but there is the Legion watching it as Zofia slowly tries making her way up spiral. She doesn't seem to know exactly where anyone is right now, just trying her best just to clinch out whatever she can at this point. There is Wolves holding a little pixel. I believe the enemy team's made it up yellow. Dane's going to go down, actually, with only the Monty there to pick her up. And
yeah, that's not looking too good. That could be easily a 3v4 situation. They do know that one is in bathroom / top of yellow. The Monty is getting pressured here from multiple different angles. Kenny T is being taken down. It is basically a 2vx. Now it's a 1vx. No, a non-vx as Lord McAllen comes out explosive to finish it off. 2 kills on the Monty and the downed Hibana. Finally closing this match out, making it a full tie between both teams, 6-6 on both maps.
that was very well done by both teams as they were able to clinch at the very end. Lord McKellen completely going off this match, going 14-8. Meanwhile, Stoaches and Experimental both hitting double digits for their respective teams. This was a very fun game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. There is no room to be lost there between the two teams, just neck and neck the entire time. That being said, as it was a tie, there is no interview for either team, so that is unfortunate for them. But they will be back. As for us, I believe that we are just about wrapping up for the day. I have been Enrage.
Oh, and before we go, I'd really quickly like to thank our sponsors, which are Rogue Energy, which are all for your energy drink needs. They got nice powder, tastes good. Corsair for peripherals, mouse, keyboards, headsets, whatever you want, they have it. And What's New, which have our apparel, which looks really nice. Hats, I believe, shirts soon, maybe a hoodie. We'll see. Anyway, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for helping us with the stream.